This is Haas Hobart here, and I am going to do a how to open and clean a PS3 video. I cleaned this out a little bit earlier, but I didn't clean the power supply, which now I'm kind of thinking I should have. So instead of just taking it apart and cleaning it and not having any kind of video, I decided to do a video. Okay, for this, of course, you will need a PS3 Slim. This is not for the Fat. This is purely for the Slim. One thing that you will have to have is called a Torx T-8 security bit. You will need either a screwdriver or an actual bit, as you see here. You cannot use a regular straight T8 because a regular T8 does not have the hole in the center. And these specific screws on the PS3 right here, don't know if you can see that, right in there somewhere. Anyway, those screws specifically use the security bit. You cannot use a regular T8. Second, you will definitely need a regular Phillips screwdriver. I know that I was told on a YouTube video, well, not just me, but I guess everyone who watched the video, that these T8 security bits were easy to find. They are not. Do not be fooled into thinking you can find them at Walmart. You cannot. I have looked many times. About the only place that I know of that carries them is, of course, online stores, or you can get them at Sears. If you get them at Sears, you can get a set like this that has a bunch of different kinds of security bits, not just the Torx, and you can get different brands, but of course, Sears is famous for Craftsman. So that's what I bought. Anyway, back to this video. Okay, looking at the PS3, you will have to take off the, what do you call them? These little things. Hold on just one minute. One moment. Thank you. Okay, I can't seem to find them. Anyway, actually, I need that, so I will have to find it. Anyway. Oh, here it is. Thank you. These little nub things. You will have to pry them off, and then this one right here will be your void warranty sticker. I only recommend doing this if you have a PS3 that is over its warranty, and I recommend doing this only if you have seen a tutorial on how to do it. Do not just start opening it up and start playing with it, because you may end up messing it up and then have to pay a couple $100 for a new one. So first thing we're going to do is take these out and take these regular screws out, because yeah, you don't need them in there. So we will take each one of these out. Oh, and make sure that you have something to put each of these screws in, because if you don't, and you end up losing a screw, then you will probably have a very hard time with the PS3, either getting it back together or I don't know exactly how the PS3 senses hardware problems or issues, but I have heard that the Xbox 360, if you have a screw that is loose, will give you the red ring of death. Now, I do not know if the yellow light of death occurs the same way or not, but I recommend having everything screwed in tightly, before you decide to plug it in. Okay, we have to Okay, so by this point you should have all of those out, and they should you should have them in a container like I do. Okay, now we're going to tackle the T-8 security screwdriver or screws. So you've got 3 of them. You've got one here, and one here. Now, these are not very difficult to get out if you have the right screwdriver or screwdriver bit. So you just take them out one at a time. Sometimes these screws can be a little aggravating to get out. Just getting a hold of one, especially if you do not have fingernails. So instead, I'm going to just pinch it out there. There. Okay, now what you're going to want to do is it will lift up this way. This is the back. Up here's the front. It will lift up like so. Okay, at this point, you may end up having dust and dirt in here. Just go ahead and take a can of air and blast it. It's not going to matter. Or you can take and wipe it out. Or if you even want to, you could probably just take and run water in it and slosh it around and dump it and then dry it out. It's whatever is up to you. I just took and used air in a can. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do here is you have the power supply. This is the part I did not clean before when I took this apart. You are going to want to take this clip right here, this power thing, and there is a clip on it. You just apply pressure and wiggle it up and off. That's all you do. Over here with this one's a little trickier. I will try to get a close-up here. It's a little bit trickier. For this, you want to get a small screwdriver or screwdriver bit for a flathead. I am using one that's very small, as you can see. And there is a groove right here. You take this little groove and you just kind of help pry it up just a little bit. Take your finger on the other side and start kind of just prying at it. May take you a moment. You do not want to just start pulling on these, because if you do and you happen to pull too hard, you may rip out the wires and there, your PS3 would not work. Okay, now this, I saw in a video that this is supposed to lift straight off. You have to put pressure on this. If you do not put pressure on it, you will not get it out. This side is the side you have to put more pressure on, and this side you have to put a little less. But before we do that, we have 2 more screws we have to get out. And these are right there and right there. It takes Phillips heads, screwdriver, so just regular Phillips. You start unscrewing. Do it to both sides. And if you're like me, and you get a little aggravated at having to mess around with screws, if I can't do this, take a magnetic end. Okay, so maybe not. Well, if you can't take a magnetic into it, because the screw may not be magnetically something that you can mess with magnets, just pinch it out. And try not to lose it in there, like I just about did. Okay. Now, you want to do basically the exact same thing on this side. Just, grab and pull. You can get to it. Now, when you pull this out, this side, you will notice straight off, will pull very easily. Not much effort. This side is on 2 prongs. 2 very thin metal prongs that are about, let's say maybe that long, and maybe this far apart. And those are very important. They appear to me, I may be wrong, but they appear to be some kind of conductors. So basically what you've got to do is you have to force it to come out. Right there is the metal prongs. Let me get a close-up of that. Right there. They're very annoying, I guess you could say, to get that out. Now, whoa, okay. So this right here is your power supply. Now, notice that it's pretty dusty because I did not spray stuff through it yet. So that is what I'm going to do right now. Take some regular air in a can, whatever dust company or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter what brand. They all do the exact same thing, so you're not going to have any problems. And just take some, blast through it. Now, with that done, this right here, the power supply, looks quite a bit better. Quite a bit cleaner. Now, what you're going to want to do now is you're going to, I did not take this out. This is the Blu-ray drive. I do not see a reason to take this out. Taking this out, if you want to take it out, you can take it out, but I don't suggest doing it because there are ribbon connectors with this, and ribbon connectors are sensitive and a pain in the butt to work with. If you end up messing it up, you are pretty much just screwed out of a PS3, and there's no reason to take it out anyway. I don't really think that any dust would really get much under there. So next you're going to want to take this and kind of set it to the side. I'm going to set it over here out of the way so I have some work room. Set this over here. Now, there are 2 Phillips head screws right there. This is in order to take the fan off. Some people suggest also taking it out completely, taking off all of the taking the wire off. I don't suggest doing that because you don't really need to. This just lifts straight up and out, like so. And there you go. It's not very hard to get that out. Now, you have a hole there where the fan goes, and there's these fins, these cooling fins. What you need to do is take air in a can, blast the whole thing. I have already done this, so I'm not going to take the time to do it. However, you just blast straight through in this way, and it'll all shoot out this way. You can also just blast all through in there if you want to. I didn't blast that part, so might as well just blast it now. And if you notice, I did get some more dust out, so every little bit you get out, of course, is good. Now, if you want to, with this, some people suggest using cotton swabs and alcohol, and that's fine if you want to take the time to do that. I'm very impatient, so I just blew it with air in a can, and it worked just fine. So either way you want to go with that is fine. Okay, from here, you want to start trying to put things back together, because pretty much we are done with the cleaning process. If you want to take this out and the whole shebang apart, there are several videos on YouTube that can do that. That can show you how to do that. I will not do that because I do not want to take the risk of ruining my PS3. With all of this stated, I feel that I should also say that I am not liable for anything you do to your PS3 from here on. In fact, I'm not liable for anything that you do to your PS3, period. That is my disclaimer. I think that what needs to be done now, of course, is you put your fan back in. And it only goes one way. You can't really put it any other way. So you just put it in there, make sure it fits correctly. You grab the correct screws, and you begin to put it together. Now you just unscrew. So and you want to make sure you get it pretty tight. Make sure that they're very snugly fit in there. If you need to, I would suggest taking some kind of a rag and just going over this, just to kind of make sure that it's all dusted off. If you didn't use the air in a can for that. Okay, now with the fan in there, the next part is the power supply. Of course, this only goes in one way as well. You want to put it in like this. Basically, the vented part matches up with the vents. It's very simple and easy to figure out. And it should fit on there very easily. It should go pretty easily. If you have any problems, you may want to look and see if you took it apart right and didn't break anything. Because there is a possibility while doing this you can, snap something. I almost did that myself in doing this. So you want to take screws, and this again is a little annoying because you have to position the screws just right again, and that can be a pain. Again, this can be a pain. Okay, with that in there, of course you screw it in real good. Make sure that it is tight. As tight as it will go. You want to take your connector, and of course put that back in there. And it should fit easily. Okay, from here, you want to do the exact same thing with the other side. Take your screw. And you want to get it in there. And then, of course, screw it down. Make sure that both screws are in there about as tight as you can get them. Now, connect this power connector. Just snap it in straight like that. And we are pretty much ready to go ahead and put the top back on. Make sure this is dry when you do this, because you do not want any moisture trapped in your PS3. I am sure that would not be good for the electronics of it and may seriously damage the console. With this, you're going to want to take these two hooks and hook them on the inside of your Wii, or I don't know why I keep saying Wii. PS3. Right here, there are two hook things. Actually, there's three. Three right there. Okay. Take the three hooks you have right here and place them right in them. Just like that. Fold it down. And there you go. Now, you just flip it upside down and begin to put the screws back in. Now, I like to save these three screws for last, mainly because I like to make sure that the whole body is back together and secure before we have a problem. Make sure that there's no issue of it coming apart. So you just take it, screw it in, make sure that it's tight. Then you start taking your protective plastic pieces and start putting them back on. Now, I did not have this one for a long time. I lost it. I don't know where or even how, but apparently I lost it because I no longer have it. Looks like I may have lost more than that. Well, I'm sure they are around here in my room somewhere. In fact, I think I see one right now. Okay, I found both of them. And once you get this far, you should have these all put back in. This one, of course, is the one that I lost. Now, this dust here is not going to matter. That's just on the side. That's not going to matter. Same thing with on this side. Because that's just purely on the plastic. That's not an actual part of the mechanical workings or the electronical workings of the PS3. It's not that big of a deal. As long as you just keep these sides vacuumed, as long as you keep all the sides vacuumed, as the PS3 manual says to do, you will be fine. You will have no issues. Of course, you want to take your security screwdriver or bit and start screwing them in. Try and get them tight as you can get them. Feels like that was just slipping, so I guess it's in as far as it'll go. With everything being done at this point, I'm going to prove that this works.